Hi there, welcome or welcome back. This is Shruti, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my strategy behind creating digital products that are successful and make six figures or more. Now, my strategy is broken down into 5 different stages. So, right from the beginning of when you start thinking about what digital product you want to create, all the way to actually selling it on autopilot, I'm going to be breaking it down in this video, so prepare to take a lot of notes. Okay, so the first part of this process is the idea or the ideation phase. This is where you start thinking about different topics or categories or offers that you can create in order to make money online. Now, usually what I like to do is to do a lot of market research, and I do my market research based on number one, the topic or the content that I would like to package in my digital product. And I also do research based on the competitors that are existing in this particular category and what it is that they are offering at the moment, what are the price points that they're offering at, and basically what their audience looks like. Now, let's assume you have a fitness brand online and you are looking to create digital products to make more money or to supplement your existing income streams. What I would first do is to look into a couple of different places. Number one, I would look into my emails, into my DMs, into my comments. If you are creating existing content and you're any kind of content creator, chances are your audience has been asking you questions about a certain topic, or something is coming up again and again in your content which maybe you might have missed. The second place to look at, if you for example have a website or a store, is what are the articles that are getting the most traffic, or what are the topics that are getting the most interest. So for example, if you are selling fitness products online, maybe you can look at which products have the most hype around them, which products make the most sales. This will give you an idea of what is the most in-demand topic in your particular niche or category. Other places to look at would be Google Trends. So you can simply go to trends.google.com, put in the topic or the category that you would like to create a digital product around, see what are the monthly trends like, what are the rising trends, see if there are any keywords that you could kind of use in this research phase. You can also use free tools like Pinterest Trends, which again are mostly related to lifestyle brands. But if you have a brand that is compatible on Pinterest, specifically in the lifestyle niche, I would highly recommend to do a little bit of research on Pinterest Trends to see if the topic that you want to create a product around is trending or not. And you also can go to marketplaces and see how that product or that idea is doing in these places. So for example, you can check out Etsy, you can check out Creative Market, you can check out Envato, which are some of the biggest digital product marketplaces, in order to brainstorm ideas for your digital product. And again, here's where you are going to be looking at potential topics that you can offer, potential price points that you can offer them at, and also the strategy with which you're going to create and sell that product. Because as we will talk later in the video, there are different ways to go about it, which may or may not suit the stage of business you're in and how you would like to grow. One of my favorite tools to use right now, specifically if you are planning to offer your products on Etsy or Amazon or any other big marketplace, would be to use eRank, which basically is like a keyword research tool for specific products. So let's say you want to create fitness schedule templates, you can type in fitness schedule templates and see how many searches that is getting on Etsy and how much competition exists for that niche in order to get an understanding of whether or not that product will sell well. Now, once you're out of the idea phase, the next phase, which is one of my favorite phases, and I think most people tend to skip this, is called validation. So before you go full stream into creating your product and promoting it and all of that, you actually want to make sure that people even want what you are offering. And the best way to find out whether or not people care about what you're offering is to see whether or not they will pay for your product. So what I like to do at this stage, and again, this will depend on whether or not you already have your audience. Ideally, this step should not be skipped, because even with a small audience, you can understand whether or not your product has potential by just doing this. You're going to do a pre-launch or a pre-sale of your product. This means that even though you haven't started creating your product and it's not available anywhere, you are offering people, let's say, a discount or early access or special bonus in order for them to sign up and pay for it already. So let's say you plan to launch a workshop and that's the digital product that you want to create, and you want to launch it at, let's say, $97, but you want to make sure that people are actually interested in the topic that you're creating the workshop on, and you don't want to waste your time creating the workshop and then no one shows up. So in this case, what you can do is that you can actually do a pre-sale or pre-launch and say, hey guys, this workshop is going to go live in 15 days. However, you can book a seat for this workshop for, let's say, 50% off. What this does is that, one, it allows you to see whether or not this product is going to work with your audience, and two, it allows you to essentially raise money for creating your product. So instead of working for free, which is what you would do if you skip the step, you now are paid to create your product. How amazing is that? Okay, once you've validated your product and you know that there's a demand for this product and this is something that could sell in your market, the next step really is to create your product. So at this stage is when you're going to put your head down and start creating your product. Now, the tools that you use for creating your product are going to be different depending on what it is that you're selling and packaging. So one of my hands down favorite tools for creating any sorts of digital products, or even, the bonuses that come along with digital products, is Canva. And if you have a little bit of wiggle room to spare, I would highly recommend upgrading to Canva Pro, because you have access to so many amazing stock images, videos, as well as premium designs and templates that you don't have access to when you're on the free plan. So what I would recommend you to do is to build out your digital product or the bonuses for your digital product in Canva, or even in Google Docs, and then convert them into Canva or a fancier version of the doc that you have, so that you're able to package it in a nice way. Another great thing that I love using Canva for is for creating promotional assets. So think about the time that you're actually going to list this product. You might need some images, you might need mock-ups. So you can actually just go to Canva and get those mock-ups for your products as well, which means that you actually don't need any other tool in order to create, a starter digital product. Now, of course, if you're creating something bigger like a workshop or a training or a class, you might need to use some other tools. Again, there are free and non-free ways of going about it. Now, if you're creating a class or a workshop, you might need to have a camera, or you might need to have some kind of screen recorder in order to share your screen and actually talk over the slides or the material that you're sharing. So one of the tools that I highly recommend using is called Loom. It's a browser-based recording tool, and it's free for videos for up to 5 minutes. You can also download those videos and add them to your course or to your class. An alternate way for you to create and share a class would be, for example, if you create the video in your camera on your phone, and then you upload that to your computer, and then you upload it to a YouTube account, and you make the video as unlisted, which means that only people who have access to the link for that video can actually access that video. Okay, so once these 3 core steps are in place, the next step is to launch your digital product. Now, again, there's so many strategies and tools that you can use to launch your digital products, but let's talk about how people are going to give you their money, and how you are going to list your products, and how you are going to essentially have, a relationship with your future customers. Now, there are 2 ways of going about launching your digital products. One is, which we talked about earlier, which is when you launch on a marketplace. Now, a marketplace, for example, could be Etsy, where you go and create a shop, and then you offer your products, and then whoever sees your product is able to buy your digital product from there. And if you create any future products, they're also able to buy them directly from your Etsy store. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages to going the Etsy route. The advantage here is that you obviously have an inbuilt pool of customers, as well as demand that already exists. You don't have to build up your own audience. You don't have to do crazy things to get followers and subscribers in order to sell. However, the disadvantage here is that if you want to build a long-term brand, or if you're someone who wants to maybe, have a more direct relationship with your customers, that's something you're unfortunately not able to build with Etsy. And a lot of big Etsy sellers face this problem, that when they become really big on Etsy and they try to move off of Etsy, their audience doesn't follow them, because they're kind of used to buying and purchasing on Etsy. So I think Etsy can be a great tool for you to kind of dip your waters, because it's free and you can kind of see how things are going at the beginning, especially if you are in an Etsy compatible niche. Now, what happens when you're not in an Etsy compatible niche, right? So how do you launch your products then? So one of my favorite tools to launch your digital products, specifically if you have any kind of social media audience, or you feel like you are going to be building your own audience and followers, and you want to have a direct relationship with them, and you want to sell products to them, then the tool that I recommend would be Stan. Now, Stan is a combination of a hosting platform, a payment platform, as well as a scheduling platform. So what it does is that no matter what types of products you want to sell, you're able to offer lots of different things and have it showcased as a landing page or link within your bio. Now, what works really well with Stan is that because it is a direct checkout system where you just click on the product that you want and you're able to put in your payment details and check out right away, there's a lot less what we call in the e-commerce world abandoned checkouts, because when people have to go through your website, click through multiple pages, see a lot of information, they sometimes get distracted and they don't actually end up making the purchase. But when you offer them all of the information in just one place, in one page, and they're able to check out with their details right away, you have basically removed the barrier for them to make the purchase from you. And if you have even 500 followers, I would recommend having, a Stan store built out, because not only are you able to control all of the income that you have, you don't have to pay, for example, a transaction or listing fees like you have to do in the case of Etsy, but also you get to retain all of your customers. You can move them to your email management system and you can basically have a direct relationship with them. Now, I'm going to be linking to all the tools that I'm talking about in the description box, so you can check them out and see whether or not that that fits your plan. So you can either launch your product via a marketplace like Etsy, or you can launch it via your own stand store, or you can do one better and you can try to do both things and see which one works better for you. So if you are in a niche which is compatible to both these approaches, you can absolutely have your own store as well as your marketplace store and get the sales that you need from both of these places. Okay, so once you've launched your product, your journey is not over yet. In fact, it's just starting out. So this is the stage where you are going to work on promoting your product. This means that you are going to actively include campaigns or content, or basically create ways to make sure that your product is in front of the right audience and is actually making sales. Now, again, this is something that you can do in so many different ways, and the best ways when you're getting started is often using social media platforms, for example, like Pinterest or Instagram or TikTok, to promote your products. Now, again, depending on the platform, you have to create specific content to promote your product, but that is something that you can get started with doing right away, even before you actually sell the product, because that way you can build in demand for the type of niche that you're in, as well as the website or the store that you plan to have. So one of my favorite ways, and I guess you already know that if you have seen any other videos on this channel, is to use Pinterest, because it is absolutely one of the best ways to promote your products on social media, specifically to get new eyeballs on your products, because it also acts like a search engine. So whereas on Instagram people don't go and actively search for problems and products, on Pinterest people actually go actively to look for problems and solutions. This means that if you have set up your Pinterest account in the right way and you're showing up in the right way, you absolutely can drive traffic back to your store or to your website and make sales that way. Or you can also use the more video friendly tools like TikTok, where you have to create sort of regular content in order to grow your store. But keep in mind, you do need to have 1,000 followers on TikTok in order to get a link in your bio. So you have to create a lot of content before you reach the point where you're able to promote your product. So if you're a total beginner and you have an audience that is on Pinterest and you're targeting those countries that Pinterest users are active in, I would highly recommend starting out with Pinterest. And again, I have lots of free resources linked in my bio to help you with that, and then move on to other social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, etc. So I hope this video was helpful. If there are any other things you want to know about creating and selling your digital products, let me know in the comments below and I can create more videos. Make sure to like this video and share it with your friends if you found it useful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.